Welcome to What's Poppin Friday, where we bring the pop, the heat, and all the juicy stuff in between. I am your host, Mark Santoyo.
And I am the co-host, Fernando Rocha.
What's up, Fernando? How's everything going?
Everything going phenomenal.
Hey, are you excited about our guest today?
Extremely excited.
We have a phenomenal guest today. I am so excited to be welcoming Alex Neri to the podcast. Thanks for joining us, Alex. How's everything going?
It's amazing. It's going really well.
I should
happy.
ask Alex, what's poppin'?
Oh my gosh. REMAX Loyalty is popping. It is just so much fun to be at REMAX Loyalty.
What's happening over there?
Yeah, what the heck? What are you doing over
I
there?
don't know. We got a new agent yesterday. We have like 3 more coming. I'm really excited. We have a new program. I'm nerding out on being a teacher while working with adults and fun people. So I'm really excited.
All right, good. That explains all those empty beer bottles over there at the
Josh
office.
bottles.
I mean, it sounds like you guys are, or
Yeah.
wine bottles out there. But it sounds like you guys are having a lot of fun. It's definitely popping at REMAX Loyalty right now. And by the way, Alex, what are we drinking today?
Vino.
Vino. Ooh,
Yes.
I love me some vino.
I love
And what
these.
kind of vino is this?
Today it's Josh. Josh never disappoints. Typically a little Chilean wine because that's my roots. But Josh is a good choice.
Josh
sounds
is
true.
a very good choice. Cheers.
Good.
Cheers to What's Poppin' Friday, guys. And cheers to Josh. Oh, I'm
are we at a
sorry.
wine
I
tasting?
didn't think
Oh,
I was going to be
didn't
that loud about it. That is some good freaking wine right there. Oh, my goodness. And you are in your 3rd glass already,
Sort of.
Alex. That is phenomenal. I mean, me and Fernando just are on our
doesn't
first
love-
one. But anyway, who's counting really, right?
Wine for breakfast.
I
As long
lo-
as my teeth purple.
No, but you got some popcorn in them. But anyway, I'm glad that we're not focusing in on that. But
poppin'.
we did pop some fresh popcorn.
Good.
What is that? ASMR?
Yeah, you gotta get
Oh,
close
yeah.
to the mic.
You're welcome. Ooh. All right. People are going to love that. We're not charging you for that one. That one's on the house, right? So we're having fun today. It's Friday. We got some wine. Yes, we're probably going to get another.
I'll do it. I got you.
It's right here.
Oh, then
What?
go for it.
You're running low, Mark.
Oh, no.
Oh, never mind.
That one's not going to work.
Never
All right.
mind. We're good, dude. Oh.
We're going to go get us a
don't
little
mix.
bit more wine because
Wait.
Alex is insisting on her 4th glass. Alex, you really like your vino, don't you?
Oh, I'm from Chile. So it just kind of comes. It's in my blood.
It's in your blood. So you did mention
Oh
that,
goodness.
There we go.
that you
That's-
usually
it's a
you
full
have
glass.
your Cheerios with a little vino in Chile. Yeah, that's
That's a lot of vino.
We'll just give her the bottle, Fernando. How about we just give her the bottle?
Yeah, let's.
There
Oh,
you go.
bye, Josh.
There you go. Bye, Josh. Now we have
Apocotherapy. This is good. Apothic.
apothic. As long as you have alcohol, apothic, we're all good. Okay.
All right. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But we definitely wanted to talk to you. Wait, we did want to talk to her, right? Okay, we did. We did absolutely want to talk to you because you're the one that's making moves over there at REMAX Loyalty. Oh my goodness, you are going above and beyond for all of our wonderful agents at REMAX. And everyone's excited over there. Everyone's talking and raving about Alex. And we want to find out what all the talk is about, right?
Me too.
Yeah, you too.
What's happening?
It's mostly good talk, which is
Okay.
always a very
Mostly.
good thing, right? Always a very good thing. But Fernando and I were like, we definitely need to have Alex on one of our first podcasts because, you're kicking ass over there. You're taking,
thank you.
You're taking care of business. I love it.
Making it happen.
Yeah. We really want to dig into who Alex is. Why is it that everyone at REMAX Loyalty loves her? Why is it that everyone that's coming in and talking to you, thinking about joining REMAX Loyalty is like, yes, let's do it. I'm in. I want to be part of the family. So we're going to dive right into it. But I kind of want to rewind it back a little bit, Alex. I want to find out why did you even get into real estate anyway?
I got into real estate while I was still in college. I was actually trying to maybe be a lawyer, an immigration lawyer. My major was Latin American Studies and politics. And I needed money. I needed to pay for school. And I saw family friends being real estate agents. And I also saw my parents get duped and scammed on a real estate deal.
What the heck? In
So-
Chicago?
Yes.
Oh
in
my
Chicago.
goodness. Yeah.
So it was my mission to not allow that to happen again to them or to anyone else. So I thought like this, I could help my parents in the future and I could help myself and I could help other people. So I hadn't even graduated from high school yet. I'm sorry, not from high school. I hadn't even graduated from college yet. And I became a real estate agent.
I love it. But you did graduate from high school, right? You owe me $20 for
I
Fernando. We talked about
graduated
that.
from
20
high
bucks.
school.
And from college. That's another 20 right there.
And
all
I
right?
have a master's.
That's another $20.
Dang.
I'm making money today, Alex. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're taking all my money, Mark.
Oh my goodness. So you graduated with a master's, but I guess that really resonated with you, that experience that your parents had by that
Yes.
terrible experience that they had. And who was this terrible experience with? Was it an attorney? Because you know about those attorneys. Ugh. Or was it a realtor? Who was it?
He was a city of Chicago judge.
Oh my
And
goodness.
scammed my parents into it's such a sad story. Like it really triggers me because my dad has worked really hard all his life in construction. I mean, he still even does. Almost 80 years old, my dad will still do, some carpentry. So it really triggers me that he, when given the opportunity to own property, he kind of jumped on it and thought that he was being given a sincere deal and was being given an opportunity and embraced it. And it did not turn out to be a sincere or, good opportunity. So we had to have attorneys kind of get us out of it. It wasn't a property that he actually owned, and this attorney judge slipped in some papers saying, "I'm not your attorney."
Wow.
And unknowing the language, language barrier, he signed all these documents without knowing. And at any rate, we found another wonderful attorney who was able to fight against him. He thought he was too powerful and we would just not do anything and
Just
allow.
roll over and take it.
Exactly. Roll over and take it is the right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Who was this wonderful attorney that helped you out, by the way? Because I think you mentioned to me that you still had a
I
relationship.
do actually. I still work with the son of this wonderful attorney. Georgette Napani helped my parents, and her son, Pete Napani, is still my go-to guy.
Wow. All right, Pete. I love it. Good. So he's still following that mission that his mom set out, right? He's
Yeah.
still helping people out.
Absolutely.
I love it. And you're still working with them?
I still do.
After how many years?
That was in 2001. So
Oh,
24
geez.
years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's
I
amazing.
when my parents purchased that home, I went in as their translator. Can you imagine? Like, I'm 18 years old and I'm like thinking I'm going to be an attorney someday. And I'm like hot stuff. And I go into this closing and it was at the judge's house. Anyway, it's such a crazy story.
Is that judge still around?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't.
He's probably in the Supreme Court now or something. Sounds like it.
Appointed by someone, who knows.
So it's at his house. He comes down in his
Yeah.
pajamas and he's like, "Hey, we're signing off on this thing, and
Yeah.
you guys got to thank me, even though I'm screwing you."
And you have a condo now, and we did not have a condo.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, that was really, sometimes lemons into lemonade, right? That completely see that as lemons into lemonade, right? We sometimes get so bogged down with negative experiences. Sometimes, even in real estate, this is a really hard industry. Like people don't realize how hard it is. And you can come across a situation where you're disappointed and you can let that take your day, just really ruin your day. But we are helping so many people, right? We're really making dreams come true.
Right.
Starting generational wealth and continuing it.
And did that experience, Alex, lead on to a specific niche for you in real estate after that?
I do work with a lot of first-time buyers. I do work with a lot of people in construction, like my father. So I have been able to assist them. Sometimes too much. Sometimes I get emotionally involved, right? Where I'm just like, no, be careful. I'm almost more cautious than my clients, just saying like, be careful with what you're getting yourself into. So I take it upon myself to read documents and to make sure that everything is safe, to make sure that the inspection goes well.
Right.
And I put that before any need that I have.
I mean, you want to take care of your clients, right?
I do,
You don't want
100%.
what happened to your parents to happen to them.
100.
And you know what? It's very, very admirable because there's a lot of agents that go into real estate for the wrong reasons, for a different reason.
Yeah.
It's just all about the money. It's all about the bottom line. But for you to get into this because you want to make sure that your clients don't fall prey to those predators that are out there, even if they're, dressed as judges, right? And you feel that you could trust these public servants because they're put in a position of trust and power. You feel that they're going to be trusted or trustworthy, and that is not the case. But the good thing is that you have that experience and you know to watch out for that. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It can trigger someone. I've heard someone say like, oh, I hate when someone says it happens for a reason. Yes, it can, sometimes there are horrible things that happen. And when someone says it happens for a reason, it's just really triggering. But in this particular situation, at that time, that was devastating. But today I can reflect on it and say, I have helped so many people avoid that situation. And I've learned from it so much that I can say I've really helped people.
All right.
Those particular situations.
And that helps you take a nice nap at night knowing that, you helped them out. On top of that, there's something in your bank account as well, which is a beautiful thing too.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. And I want that client again. I don't want them to, purchase a house and then say, this was such a bad choice. This was such a, lemon, for lack of a better word.
Right.
I don't want that to happen. So I got a good property and then I'm able to sell it. And that's always, for the past 20 whatever years, it's been my goal.
And I love that you're so passionate about what you do and helping people out. And I'm wondering now, how is it that, you've been in real estate for what? How many years now?
Well, I was originally licensed in 2003.
2003. Okay.
About a year and a half before I graduated college. Right when I turned 21. Back then you had to be 21. So I started then at REMAX, and for a brief time, broker managed my own small boutique firms. And when the crash happened, this is where I got my master's in education, and I taught for about 10 years. But for the last 7 years, I've been doing both real estate and education. And I love both. I really do. I loved working with kids. I love teaching. And I love real estate. I sincerely do. So I'm in a really great spot today.
Yes, because you love teaching.
I do.
And you're in real estate.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now? Tell me about it.
I am teaching adults this time, but I am teaching real estate, which just, I really thank both of you because it happened so quickly. It was honestly on my birthday, right? Do you remember? It was like it was my birthday week.
You know what? Fernando and I were looking at each other. What do we get Alex for her birthday? And we're like, why don't we get her managing broker? That's a great idea, Fernando. We're going to save a lot of money there. Anyway.
Yeah, that was like the most memorable birthday ever. Sorry, Josh.
I know. Yeah. Sorry, Josh and Apothic.
It was the most memorable birthday ever. I went home and I was like, they asked me to be managing broker, like husband, my love, what do you think? And he's like, well, that'd be sadly kind of perfect, it's going to be a lot of pressure on you, but is that not what you really want? And I said, yeah, I'm hesitant. I didn't know what to do, but it has turned out to be really amazing.
So class full of adults now this time around, huh?
Yeah, a class full of
Yeah.
adults. They still don't do like all their homework.
Oh boy. I told you, Alex, I would do it by next week, okay? I promise. All right. But you know what? That's pretty cool because you get
Yeah.
home and you're like, hey, wonderful hubby, I got what I always wanted. I
Yeah.
got for my birthday, I got managing broker. And he's like, well, I got you a bottle of Josh.
Oh my gosh, you know him so well.
Yeah, I know. I figured. And
No,
but
you
you
know
gotta
what?
appreciate
He has been so amazing. Like for the past, 10, 14 years, I would get home by 3:30. I'd bring the kids and dinner. I was in charge of those things, dinner. And he has not hesitated to say, you have a dream and I'm so happy that you're happy. And I got dinner. I got the kids. I got everything. He has everything right now. He is like, I love you.
Oh,
Alex, and let me ask you. So, would you say that managing broker was something that you thought of, like during that time, or
All the
something that just,
time.
yeah, okay.
All the time. All the time. I was managing broker in 2005. So I graduated college in 2004 and I had my degree in politics and my degree in Latin American studies. And my goal was to to become an immigration attorney. But I was killing it in real estate and I was at REMAX. And so I had a partner. I'm like, hey, I graduated. What do we do? And he's, serendipity, right? The world presented to my partner at that time a real estate office for less than what, we were paying in monthly fees. So we were like, well, if we take this, then we can have other agents, right?
you can take over the world.
Take over the world. Yeah. So for 2 years, that went smooth and steady. It was great. We had agents. And then, I was like, hey, partner, I sniff a little bubble coming. What do we do? At any rate, long story short, I became a teacher during that bubble.
Alex made out like a bandit. She's good at that part.
Yeah, right. I think there was a movie about you. I think it was called The Big
yeah.
Short, right?
Yeah,
Is that what it's called? The Big
Yeah,
Short.
yeah.
No, even during that time, I was still like, hey, do you think it's a good idea to get 105%, to put down 105%? That means you get back a 5%. Remember those like shady deals? I was always like, do you think like that's okay?
Like, that seems a little
That
off.
seems off.
Right.
Yeah.
And it seemed a little off that
it
the guy that
seemed a
was
little
cutting
off.
my hair is also doing my loan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, took too much off the top.
Yeah, right. Yeah, in my case, yeah, a little bit.
Well,
But and so managing broker was just kind of like a ring on your finger. It was a beautiful thing. It fit right
It
into what it
was,
is that
yeah.
you were doing.
Yeah.
And I think that you and I had a conversation about this. And I know that one of your concerns is like, hey, Mark, the reason I got into real estate is because I want to make sure that I don't allow people to fall into these traps or get scammed the way that my parents were scammed, right?
Absolutely.
Because I know that was part of your passion.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful thing here, and we had this conversation, is that now by properly educating realtors, by helping them, now you're able to actually affect even more
Yeah.
families than you would as a solo agent.
It's like a ripple effect now, right? So I help one agent and I really almost like transfer that information, that passion, and say, don't let that happen. You can be an amazing agent. You can do wonderful things. And those clients are going to come back to you and they're going to really, pay you back in multitudes. And it has happened. I haven't really, while I was teaching, I never did any marketing. I never did any, advertising. But people just saw my sincere, need to help, my like sincere passion for it.
Right,
And
right.
then would just say, you know what, I trust you with my sister's purchase. I trust you with my, family. So that's how
That's beautiful.
just gotten any business in the past 7 years. I don't even know how to, do any of that. I'm learning now with my agents to say, look, these are how you do customer relations. This is how you do marketing. This is how you do everything. And it's really powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Just to add that on to your passion for real estate, it's really amazing.
I love that. Good.
Now we got you on the podcast. You see?
Hey.
Hey.
Hola, tía. The one that all
Doing the
my
social
biggest
media
fan
stuff.
and my tía in Chile will like everything I do on my social media. So, hola, tía Carmen.
All
Tia
right, Tia Carmen.
Now-
That's funny. That's funny. I love that.
All right. So, Alex, question for you. So, what does the typical day now looks for a managing broker, Alex, compared to a real estate broker, or your previous experiences?
Again, it transitioned so quickly. My focus just changed, right? Like my focus was, helping clients, helping, individuals. Now my focus is really teaching young agents, new agents who are new to the business. This is a really hard business. People really don't know. We take it for granted. They see our, social media and go, it's easy, right? It is not easy, right? It's not easy. It's a really hard job. That being said, I love that about it. I love a challenge. If my life isn't, a little bit of a challenge, it's boring, right? So I love to overcome things. I love a good puzzle, for lack of a better word. But my life today really revolves around is everyone being serviced? Is everyone getting what they need? Or do you have a question? Do you need a partner? Do you need a team? I'm here. I'm your partner.
Do you need a shoulder to cry on?
Yeah, for sure. I got that margarita in the office, right? There's a bottle of wine by my desk.
Yeah. By the way, we got to talk about those liquor invoices. All right? They're getting out of hand.
So. That's my hope. I want to just make sure that everybody knows that I'm there to be your team, to be, there are so many big teams, very well, right? And there's so many individuals that need a partner to, shoot the
right. Yeah, right. Yeah, you cannot swear on this. This is we're closely monitored by the FCC.
So just beep it out.
I'm just kidding. You can say shit.
Okay. so many individual agents need to shoot the shit with someone.
Yeah, right.
And say what do you think about this? Is this a good idea? Well, let's try it. I'm here for you. I'm your partner. Let's do it. So I'm here to be the partner for all those agents who are in our office. And I think they're starting to see it. I think 2 or 3 months in for me as the managing broker in the office,
right.
I can go to them and say, hey, what do you need? Let's help. How do I help you? Do you need me to go with you to this appointment? Do you need me to, help you with this consultation?
I think it's awesome because it's it's either even a newer agent that's coming on board, you're teaching them, you're helping them, you're guiding them, mentoring them. But even agents, veteran agents that have been around for a while, they come to you with different issues that come up, right?
They do.
And I love that you're able to just jump in there and then take care of business, just help them out whatever way you can. And I'm already hearing great reviews. They're like, oh my goodness, I know I could count on Alex. She answers the phone. She has an answer. She gets me an answer. So you're saving people so much time and so many headaches. And I love that you do that, Alex. That is tremendous. And just speaking from previously being a realtor is out there, boots on the ground, in the grind. It's always awesome to have a supportive managing broker that you can count on. If anything, if you encounter any issues, you're going to get an answer or someone that's going to be there to give
I
you
don't
an answer.
promise that I know all the answers, but I will figure it out.
But you promise you'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. I have great mentors above me as well.
I love that. Good. Who?
These guys.
Oh, shit.
Look at them.
Damn, I was afraid you were going to say that. All right, good, fantastic. But anyway, if you get all the right training, you get all the right information in their hands, and I love that you do that. And you know what? You're talking to the agents day in, day out, whether you're drinking with them, whether you're shooting their shit, as you put it, or you're going out to the parking lot and lighting up. I mean, anyway. So what I'm getting at is, what's going on out there, Alex, right?
I do.
You get a good sense of, hey, this is going on, et cetera, et cetera. Or what everyone's drinking, right? That's good. So what are you seeing? What kind of trends are you seeing out there right now? What is everyone talking about?
It's a hard market right now. We have, it's
hard. How? I'm sorry.
There are more buyers than there are sellers. We have so many people wanting that American dream, right? Wanting that dream of ownership. and there just aren't enough sellers out there. And
Inventory issues.
Inventory issues. Thank you. And that's really what's disappointing a lot of agents, because we put so much heart and soul into the dreams of our clients that when a client maybe doesn't win one of a multiple offer situation, that's really what breaks our hearts, right? When we see them lose the home of their dreams. And one of the things that we're doing as agents is we're gathering the tools. We have data, we have information to say, this is what you need to make this purchase happen. This is what you need. So everyone's losing deals, but we're losing many less than the average agents. We have the data, we have the proper documentation, we have the proper contracts, addendums, and things to make that happen. So,
and the guidance on how to use that information
on how to do that.
to be able to get you,
Yeah, I'm a super numbers nerd. So like we were talking about data on properties. I'm able to make sure that we're giving clients the proper information so that they know that their home will appraise, that they know that they're not coming out of pocket. We can do very similar to an appraiser and just really help agents and really help their clients get what they want and make it happen. And profits are still happening.
Yeah, right. And would you say that's one of the number one things that agents are coming to you for?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did a whole class yesterday on just data and just graphs. And last week we did on analyses of homes. We really dig into the properties and the numbers on situations.
Yeah, right.
Are you getting the return on your investment? Are you, we're really gearing towards investors. That's always, in the past, that was always my niche. I loved working with contractors and helping them, buy homes, build, and hold on, wait a second. What quality of build are you doing? Where are we? What's your return? What's your after rehab value? Teaching those ROI, the ARVs, everything that the bank is looking for. That's always really big.
And making sure they have the right resources in place to be able to help out their clients. And I know you've brought this up many times that one of our sponsors, homework.com, has been a great resource for a lot of the agents.
Oh my God,
office.
yes. So Homework actually has helped clients with construction loans. So Homework has helped clients, they're not contractors, but they've helped them get properties at a lower price. So let's say today I can't afford 400, everything is going for 400, but I can afford a 250, partner up with Homework and get a property that will be worth 400 and make it 350, right? Homework will help me do that. And I've purchased the home with an equity of $50,000 at the end of the day. So, oh my gosh, doing that, I have goosebumps. I
was wondering if it was the wine or if it was homework.com, but okay, I guess it was homework.com.
No, at the end of the day, here in 3 months, here's $50,000. You got that in equity.
Okay.
Amazing.
And Homework does that by helping the real estate agent, right? Get the right contractor.
Right. So what they do is we just tell them the property, and they come out with a bunch of bids, and they say these contractors are already licensed, bonded, approved. They go to the home and say, here's a bid for $100,000 to get you a new kitchen. So this particular situation, they got my client kitchen, bathrooms, basement done. Everything's done for $100,000.
I love that. Good.
We have a loan for $350,000, but the house is now worth $400,000.
Wow.
Amazing.
I love that. So it's important to partner up with a lot of these great companies, so whether it's homework.com, whether it's Pete That Attorney or other attorneys that we work with. I know REMAX Realty, we have some very good partners in lending, in law, in title, and everything, right?
Yes.
So we have some great partners. When someone, because you've worked with new agents, I think this is one of the questions that we've been wanting to ask. Fernando and I were talking about this the other day, is what's one of the biggest challenges you feel like a new agent that comes in, right? What's the biggest misconception that they have about real estate that you've seen that you're like, whoa, yeah, let's get this story together, right? Because I want to set the proper expectations for you. What have you ever experienced? What's one of the common things that you hear out there? Misconceptions.
I'm going to spend so much money on this fancy car, this fancy suit, and my fancy whatever, and I'm going to get clients.
I think that everybody
That's-
thinks that if they make this business look sexy as heck the way that
Yeah.
Fernando does, that they're just going to automatically be successful,
Yeah.
right? So is that not the case?
That's not to say, you know,
It
we
doesn't
can have
help.
we have some sexy agents in the office and they make it happen.
Wait, real estate is bringing
We
sexy
do.
back?
We
We're
are.
bringing sexy.
We are.
Oh, shit.
So, yes, loyalty agents, we're hot.
Oh,
We're so cute.
can you turn on the AC or something?
But-
in here? Jeez Louise. Okay, anyway.
What's more attractive than someone who, like, yeah, yes, we do that. Maybe not me so much, but we are knowledgeable. We get the data. We get the information. I'm not kidding you. I've sadly been at a couple other offices, and I'm at loyalty. I'm here because I see we're such a family. We're caring people. We do the data. We do the homework. We do everything that's needed.
Did you say homework?
We did. We do the homework to make it happen. Like we really do. There is homework.
Right.
When we're putting offers down, I'm not letting my agents just put an offer in just because that's what's been asked. I'm doing the homework to make sure that the property is worth that. Hey, I'm noticing that you did this. Are you sure? How are we doing this? Is it going to, go through financing? Is it going to happen? Right? We're not presenting false dreams to anybody. We're presenting
Right.
reality.
And I think that is so crucial. I was talking to an agent the other day that was telling me about the situation where there was this property at $600,000 they were going to make an offer on, right? And they did the clients like, hey, I love this house. Let's get it submitted at $600,000. And it's been on the market for like 6 months. The agent's like, hang on a second. It's been on the market for a while. What gives? And the agent said, let me look at the numbers. And the client said, all right, wonderful. Absolutely. I didn't know you did that. Let's do it. So the agent checked out the numbers on the $600,000 listing, right? And found out that it's actually worth $470,000. So suggested an offer for $470,000. The buyer said, whoa, yeah, hands down, let's do it. I'm down at $470,000. Presented the offer to the list agent. List agent said, whoa, you're way off. And the agent said, no, you're way off.
Yeah.
And said, hey, show me your comps, Mr. Listing Agent, since you think that I'm way off. And you know what the listing agent said?
I got none.
Hey, how did you know?
Because they don't. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
we
It
did
is so
not do that.
powerful. How many times does that happen?
Right.
So many listing agents out there don't do any of that homework and just say,
Did you say homework? I'm
I
just
know.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Mr. Seller,
They gotta
what
start
would
using
you like?
homework
Hey,
with an E
Mrs.
at the end.com
Yeah.
Okay.
to help you better submit offers and
Yes.
list your property.
Anyway, sorry.
okay. Yes, so many sellers, like so many agents allow the seller to say, what would you like, to sell this home for? And that's your number. It's easy. You make a seller happy. You get the deal to put the house on the market. But are you really doing your job? Are you selling a false dream? Even if you got a buyer who also had a bad agent and didn't do the report, the bank is going to do the report. And they're going to
Right.
say, you don't qualify. Are you going to pay $100,000 out of pocket to get this property? No. That's never going to happen.
Well, that sounds like that's a lot of work. And that's part of what you tell these agents that walk
Absolutely.
in there with the brand new suit, the brand new Mercedes,
Yeah.
and the Versace shoes. I don't know, whatever it is. So they walk in there, they're ready to go, and they're like, when does the money roll in, Mrs. Alex?
Yeah.
And you say, yeah. Is that what you tell them? Yeah.
Yeah,
About that.
About that.
About that.
Listen, we're in an amazing industry. We have the tools, we have the equipment, we have the power to make the money roll in. We really do. It's not an easy job. It's not. And consistency and hard work and a positive mindset, honesty are the only things that will make that happen long term. You can make money quickly and fool a few people this year, but those clients are not going to come back to you. So I am teaching the agents today. We are being honest. We are being consistent. We are being hardworking. And those clients will provide you a lifetime's worth of a beautiful career.
Yeah. So there's a whole lot of work.
Everything.
A whole lot of work involved there, right?
It is.
And I love, Fernando was telling me the other day, he was talking to an agent they had just started. And Fernando told them, this is a lot of work. I want to
really
make sure you
is.
understand. And what did the agent say? By a lot of work, what? You mean like 10 hours a week, 20 hours? Like, okay, we're...
Yeah, actually, intentionally, I try to not encourage this kid to join the team. I legitimately try to scare them off. Like, dude, there's a high chance you're gonna fail. This is not for everybody. I don't have the time to train somebody else, to be a team member here. The team, long story short, he's like, just give me a shot. I understand. And now looking at him, he's actually putting in the work and doing what he's supposed to. And very successful kid now.
And I bet you it's not 10 hours.
No, probably times 8.
Times 8, yeah, right. That sounds more believable in this business for sure.
It's a beautiful career. For me, I mentioned I was in teaching, and that, it was easy. But for me, it wasn't challenging. It wasn't like, I couldn't dream with it and be selfish with it, right? Like say next year I can make so much more.
You're not about the easy road.
I'm not about the easier. I don't know why. Maybe that's like my homeostasis, right? Like,
Were the roads really rough in Chile or what?
Well, I was 3. I was 3 when I was brought here.
Okay, that was a long time ago.
No, but
That was
maybe
so 20 years ago.
just, my homeostasis was watching my parents just work really hard, like just constantly, doing something to make a better year, to make it better for me. I was really lucky. I had no idea, I always thought we were like pretty rich. Like
So,
I had no idea.
The immigrant mentality is to work hard.
And I want to change that a little bit. I don't want to make that like a generational, it's not a curse, but I don't want to make that generational. I don't want my kids to think you have to work day and night. I want to teach my kids that there are other important things. I want to teach them like you can work and have a beautiful career that you love. Ideally, my kids would be in real estate. I love real estate. I love owning brick and mortar. But for them, I want to teach them that you can do that. But so much more important than that is be good to your friends, be good to your family, be good to your dreams, follow those.
The work-life balance, right?
The work-life balance, yeah. So, I do teach my kids that. I think we're turning everything off, we're disconnecting, and we are having family time because that's what matters.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so we do that. You might catch me on occasion, like being like, Mark, who?
Yeah. More than once, for sure.
No.
More than once.
Once, but I do.
And with no wine either.
During the week, I've shown agents, like yesterday, someone was like, you emailed me at 5 a.m. It's like, I know, because that's when my kids were sleeping. That's when I emailed you. That's when I was, signing all the contracts.
No wonder they come in at 5.
Ah,
that makes sense.
hey, it looks like you were at a nice bar that night. that was a long night for sure. No, that was an early bird thing. Is more,
Yes,
it wasn't a
yes.
bar thing. I was just messing around.
So now you're doing a phenomenal job, Alex, as a managing broker. What would you say is the most rewarding thing of being a managing broker?
I've only been here 2-3 months, right? Somewhere in there. So I don't think I've had the chance yet to see, oh my God, this agent was, not doing anything, but seeing a closing, seeing someone like be fruitful and seeing someone be happy and enjoy that and maybe hopefully transfer some of that love for work-life balance, I think is my goal. I do enjoy seeing other agents enjoy their job. I do love that. When someone says to me like, oh, I had the opportunity to meet a client and they were so happy. I helped them buy their first home. My goodness, to be a part of that is just so important. It's so special. And you're remembered as for life, like who helped you buy your first home. That's enormous. It's,
and I think the byproduct of all of this is, you probably mentioned this a little earlier ago, is that now you get to influence a lot more families through our agents at the office.
Yeah.
And you have a little, Alex has a little touch in all these deals. Maybe the client doesn't know, but
right.
a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of input from Alex.
So I think maybe chiming in on a few of those offers or chiming in on a few of those deals to say like, oh, are we getting the right number? Let's make sure. Are we doing the CMA correctly?
Right.
Are we showing the clients the properties that are appropriate to them? Or
So you're making a difference in so many people's lives, people that you have not even met in person, and it's all attributed to Alex. That must be a wonderful, wonderful feeling.
It is. I think that trickle effect helps me like sleep like a baby.
All right, I love that. It's either
Besides
that,
the Josh.
besides I was going to
the
say
Josh.
that. Either that
Thanks,
or the Josh. That's making the difference. So I'm glad that that's good. And you know what, Alex, you come from a very I would say unique situation because you were teaching for a very long time. You were in real estate. You have so much knowledge that you've accumulated over the years, right? And what advice would you give a brand new realtor that's just coming on to real estate? They're hungry. They're ready to take over the world. They have a much better hairdo than I do. What do you tell them?
I think the word that just popped into my head was consistent. This isn't the next day you're going to be rich. It's just not. There are so many successful agents, and they did not get there by just popping in and saying like, "Ta-da!" Like I have a buyer. It just pops into being uncomfortable, making those choices to be uncomfortable, and being consistent to do them. That only happens. I'm here because I literally, get calls from, hey, I bought a home from you in 2005 and you were so kind and you were so knowledgeable. That's where we are, right? That's where I want everyone to be, to say,
Right.
I gave my best to everyone that I encountered. And I hope that new agents are doing this for the long haul, because everything that you do today is trickled
Right.
in the future.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think cut out the excuses too, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
yes.
because you hear it all the time. It's because not everyone has a dog like I do. And my dog likes to go pee a lot. So I have to walk it every 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes, people have lives. And you'd be surprised. A lot of these top producing agents, they have so much going on in their life. But they're able to be consistent, which is what you said, right? Be consistent,
Yeah.
cut out the excuses, get to work and do what you're supposed to do.
There are tools. We can't do it alone, right? We do have to invest in tools to help us be consistent and stay on track. And then, we help you with that, right? We say, this is how you follow up. This is
Right.
how you stay top of mind. Because people easily forget, right? And then there are realtors. There are many realtors out there. And it's so easy to say, oh, my cousin, really needs a deal. Your cousin's not going to save you.
Right, right. Information is very important.
Yes.
The tools are very important. The resources, right? But yeah, I think tools are extremely important. We have a lot of tools at REMAX Loyalty, which I love. And now that I say that, tools are so important. It makes total sense now that my mother-in-law said that I'm such a tool, because I'm so important, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Sure. I didn't quite understand that one. So I love it. So tools, resources, you're there. Thank you for that.
nice crunch.
ASMR, is that what it was?
ASMR.
All right. I'm sorry. When I think ASMR, I think Aston Martin race or AMSR. Anyway.
That was very satisfying. I have an issue. It's okay.
Okay, there you go.
And Alex, now that essentially your clients now typically, would you say, are now realtors, right? And I'm sure you get a million calls on a daily basis from all of our lovely agents at REMAX Loyalty. How do you work that? How do you balance that, the work-life balance with loyalty and your life?
I mean, I hope it lasts. I still enjoy a call from our agents. I'm like, hey, girl, how you doing? What are you doing? What are you up to? You got a deal going? Great. And I am still excited about it. We're still in the honeymoon phase with all my agents. So I actually see a phone call from an agent. I'm like, yay, like they need me.
I love that. That's awesome.
So, but I'm still there with them. And I think that a lot of our training allows for them to, I guess, be self-sufficient or really know what they're doing. We've given training on offers and, additional addendums that they can present. So we've got that.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it. You see the excuses that she comes up with just to take a sip of the wine. You don't have to act like something's caught in your throat. Just go for the wine, Alex. We're not gonna judge you by it. I'm totally judging you. But anyway.
I mean, I am pretty nerdy. So like 8 p.m., like I'm pretty useless. I'm pretty sleepy. I'm an early riser. So my husband goes to work early. I wake up when he wakes up. So he wakes up around 4:45.
Ooh.
Oh.
So by 8 o'clock, if someone calls me like, "Hey, help me with this offer," I'm like, who?
They hear the wine bottle in the background just fall to the ground. Like, huh? Who is this again?
No, but I try. And I do give a disclosure. Hey, by the way, it's a little bit late.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
like I'll read it over again tomorrow morning. But
Good. But
And I asked that because it seems like, you're a big advocate for the work-life balance.
Yes.
So I wanted to dig in a little bit
Yeah.
more. How does she do it? Because, we know how demanding the industry is.
I mean, it's hard to say to any of the agents who are also my friends, who are also, depending on me. It's hard to say, hey, it's Saturday night and I'm at dinner, or it's Sunday and, it's really hard to say, can you wait? So I do have to, kind of bring that in.
so when you tell someone, hey, I'm having dinner right now, and they tell you, oh, okay, provecho. So here's my issue.
I chime in.
Enjoy, but what
hey,
about this?
Yeah,
one
well,
here?
but anywho, about my question.
I do respond and I'll say that, I'll be honest. But if they say like, hey, the offer's due in an hour, I go to the bathroom. Like, excuse me, just BRB. I
Okay.
it's there. My
If it's
phone.
very important.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I do
So
remember.
far, it's the honeymoon stage. So far, that's what. That's
I
where
remember
am.
when you were giving birth to your daughter. I remember you were like, "Excuse me for a second, I need to take this call." That was you didn't have to do that, but that was going way above and beyond.
I mean, she was born in 11 minutes. She's good.
There you go. Well, the phone call was
she
only
always-
5.
She always tells me like, I'm the easy one. It
So it's really just an 11-minute break.
was 11 minutes.
Yeah.
That was-
So I mean, you're talking to these agents, whether you're giving birth, you're at dinner, or whatever it is. You're talking to these agents, so you get a whole lot of feedback. You get a whole lot of what's going on out there. I think you have a good sense of the real estate market, wouldn't you say, Alex?
I do. And I'm also a little bit of a nerd. So I do every day.
You look at that data.
I do look at data.
Yeah.
I listen to the news. I listen to podcasts every day.
I-
And even though you told me to be more on social media, like
Yeah,
that was
right.
like, hey, you have to be on social media.
There's a
Like,
lot of data on social media.
there's only so much time.
Yeah, I know, but you got to do it absolutely. And I think it's very interesting when I go into your office and I see you like on the writing on the wall with the compass and everything, and drawing all kinds of angles and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, whatever. I just walk right out. I'm like Homer Simpson in that little meme. I'm like, all right, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm out of here.
I love that show.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a big Simpsons fan. I'm a 90s child.
Simpsons or Chavo del Ocho? Which one do you like better?
Wow, that's my bicultural self. You can't ask that.
So they're both your favorite.
Yeah.
They're both your favorite.
Like if you ask Alejandra, obvio, like Chavo. If you ask Alex,
You got the
like,
two personalities.
I do.
Which one's more fun?
Chavo.
Chavo?
Chavo.
Alejandra.
Alejandra's more fun.
Alejandra.
Alejandra will like
I think
salsa, will stay up late.
I-
Alex like goes to bed on time.
I think we have Alejandra here today. All right, I'm just going to call you Alejandra from now on.
Okay,
All right.
sure. Alejandra,
so
salud.
you're talking to all the... Oh, wait. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers. Salud, Alejandra. All right. Do we have to reintroduce you now? No. All right. We'll keep Alex
two.
introduction
Alejandra had
stuff.
more
Part
wine.
2. Alejandra's in the house. But so you're talking to the agents. What's the outlook for most agents? What are you seeing? Are they positive about what we have coming on? Like what the real estate market is going to look like in a few months, in a few years? Are you getting some positive vibes, some maybe concerned vibes? What's the deal? What's going on?
Well, When an agent comes to me, I think they're initially concerned, right? They're like, oh, this is a hard market. There's, low inventory. We have buyers. We have so many buyers. We have people that are trusting us to help them with their homes. But I think that we have still a really positive outlook. Rates I think are going to hold steady. They're not, drastic. From the research that I've been listening to, market is really steady. So if it doesn't happen today, it's going to happen, right? Don't let people give up. Be their positive light and tell them like, yes, it's today. It's early. It's the beginning of spring.
Right.
Spring is always hectic, right? Summer comes as soon as September hits, demand is going to lower, right? This is economics 101. Demand will decrease as soon as people start going to school. We have a little bit more deals. It's always there. Yes, prices are slightly increasing. On average, they've been increasing 10%, but I think that getting someone in before that time or at that time is perfect timing. Someone would say, what's the best time to buy? Well, 5 years ago, but other than 5 years ago, it's right now.
Let's do it right now.
Right
yes.
Don't think about it too much.
Like
it.
that opportunity, that ship sailed. But yes, absolutely. By today, like we're it's a strong
Stop
market.
waiting. Get out there and
Absolutely.
buy.
It's a strong market.
Oh, yeah.
Such a high percentage of people are stuck in these 2 and 3% loans. Inventory is not going to increase to the, to the point that it was in 2008, right? It's just not going to happen. So statistically.
But I was watching some videos and I had these YouTubers and all these other people that said that the real estate market is going to crash. Right now is definitely not the right time to buy. Although full disclosure, they've been saying that for 10 years.
Absolutely. I lived the crash.
Yes, but eventually they'll be right, possibly.
Yeah.
Someday.
No. It happens. That's
It could be
the
another
market.
20 years, but it's going to
mean,
happen. Maybe. I don't know.
If you look at statistics, it's all a wave, right? It's all a wave. Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
Ride
yes.
the wave.
There you go. I can see you doing that. Yes. Ride the wave.
You have to
Have
ride
fun,
the wave.
Alejandra.
Yeah. I mean, stock market, anything is like that. If you have any knowledge in investments and property in real estate and stock market, it's all a wave. It never stays stagnant. It never goes, in that direction.
And life is not going to be put on hold until
Life is not
the
on
wave
hold.
comes to where you want
Absolutely.
it to be. It's just like
Yeah.
get on with life.
Right.
Get on with life.
So
Get your house.
If you're not living in the past, right now is it.
Interesting.
I like that.
I love that too. Alex, so we know that you were you had a good career as a teacher. And if it wasn't for real estate, well, now you're doing real estate full time. What would you be doing if it wasn't real estate right now full time?
Chilling at
Wait.
a coffee shop.
Is that
At a coffee
Alejandra
shop?
or is that Alex?
Yeah.
I think both of them would be just chilling at a coffee shop. I love to bake.
Okay.
I
Ooh, those edibles you made the other day were so freaking good. I love that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. You like
That's
to.
why you were acting strange
Yeah.
on the last podcast.
well, salud.
On yesterday too.
Yeah, right. I
that
wasn't
makes
sure if it
sense.
was, I wasn't sure if it was, but she loves to bake or getting baked. I don't know what it was, but anyway.
My tiramisu does not have any THC in it. It is just tiramisu and bread and cookies. And I don't know, maybe I something about just baking is so, it just releases like.
So you will have
Peace.
a bakery or a coffee shop where you
I'd have a coffee shop
Coffee
where
shop.
I love to make scones. I make bread. I make tiramisu. Some of the favorite things that I love to make: muffins. My kids love my banana bread. So I make all those things with sincere love, and like this is something they enjoy. On occasion, empanadas.
Yes, I know. We have had the privilege of tasting some of these delicious goodies at the office. Alex is so nice. She likes to share with us. She brings in every power hour, which happens every week, right? Wednesday, 10:30 in the morning. Alex actually makes us a special juice.
I just make smoothies. Yeah.
A smoothie, yes. And they are so freaking good and they're so healthy. And if I drank more of them, I wouldn't look the way I do. But I need to drink more of that stuff,
Yeah.
delicious stuff. So, yeah, I love it.
I do that for my real babies, and I do it for my other babies too. So
Your adopted children.
my adopted realtors, my adopted babies, I make them green
They
smoothies.
appreciate it very
Yes.
much, Alex.
I make them every day for Luke and Peyton, my babies. I make them. I sneak kale and carrots and other veggies into their smoothies every day.
I love that. Do you grow any of this stuff in like your garden at home?
No, I tried, but the squirrels and all the.
Yeah, right. And then I don't even think you have space no more because most of it is covered by marijuana. I mean, anyway, the weeds and stuff,
The
dandelions
weeds,
and all that
yeah,
good
the
stuff.
weeds grow.
But anyway, if you had the space, you probably would do it, right?
Probably would,
I
yeah.
probably would. There you go. Maybe that's one of those goals to do this year.
Goals.
Go.
Hashtag goals.
You have quite the green thumb, right? At least when it comes to the other stuff.
Or the green.
Yeah, I know. So, and Alex, you have so much experience. You're freaking awesome. Everybody loves you. And have you, I'm curious here, have you ever had any very unusual request from a client or an agent or something? This is PG-13 kids are listening to stuff. So whatever, just.
So then the other story.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what's the most unusual request that Alex or Alejandra have gotten?
I had a client maybe 20 years ago. He was a santero,
Like a santo
like
yo?
santeria. No,
Is
like
he like a family member?
santeria.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. So we would walk into a house and he
Like
would,
a witch doctor is what it is. Like a witch doctor.
he would pause and say, "You have an aura, like you have," and I forget the name. Oh my goodness, there's like different Santeria gods or leaders or, I'm gonna butcher the name, so I'm not gonna say it.
Wait, what's his first name? Walter?
No.
Last name Mercado? No. Okay, that wasn't him.
So he would look at me and say, "You have a power and a glow. So when we come into a home with bad vibes, the glow around you is negative." That was it.
Wow.
So he would pause and look at me and say, "The good glow." And that's the house he bought. The one that when I stood in the home had a good glow around me. And I would just stand there and go,
So you could have just given this guy a list of properties.
I have no idea what the heck I did. But then after going into a bad home, he wanted to like rub an egg on my forehead and like smack me with it.
Smashed it in your forehead.
I
Like,
never allowed it.
I just saved your life. Like, thank you, I guess.
So
And all over your face.
I went into a couple homes and he was like, "That home was not good for you. Black energy around you, like negative energy around you."
Hey,
It was,
just throw an egg at you.
yes. It was really, I don't know.
That would be a little bit odd.
He was really nice.
Yeah,
He
did
was
your family have an issue with you like arriving every day smelling like egg?
I did not let him do the egg thing on me.
All right, so he didn't rub his eggs on you. So he just tossed them at you. Okay.
No, he offered,
guy.
But no.
It's nice that he offered at least. I
He
guess.
was very, really nice that he offered, but I kindly declined his.
Hey, so did you make a profit at the end, being that he was probably
did.
charging you 99 cents a minute?
No, that was one of the. He did purchase one of the biggest. Fernando, stop it. That was one of the larger sales I did actually.
Get out. Ain't
my
that something?
my positive juju showed him the good property.
Oh, wow.
That
All
career pays.
right, there you go.
20
in the
years
wrong
ago,
business.
I
We
sold him
gotta
a
run some eggs.
$600,000 building that gave him good juju.
So there you go, real estate professionals. If they've got to toss an egg in your face, then it is what it is, all
I
right?
didn't do that part.
Oh, okay. All right, so they didn't do that. All right, but anyway, you do what you got to do. You got to
You
get
do
that
what you
sale.
gotta
Absolutely.
do.
I'm with you
I
100%
mean,
on that.
If it made him feel warm and fuzzy, that my aura was warm, that I had a glow. And I do go that extra mile, and I go, sometimes we walk into a home and I just kind of go, "It smells funny." maybe that's my juju, but
You don't think they get offended? Like, well, what
it's
smells
the
funny?
property. I can
Oh, the
I can
property.
differentiate.
Okay, right.
You know, I'll say, oh, this property kind of smells funny. Maybe we shouldn't proceed.
And
Let's call it. Let's
have you
call
heard
it.
from this client at all?
He moved to Florida. I
Oh,
did.
he did.
Florida.
He's throwing eggs in Florida now.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
He did
Yeah.
tell me killing some chickens in Florida.
Interesting. Well, Alex, if I guess looking back to younger Alex, what would you give yourself as an advice back then? Like, what would you do different? What kind of advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self. She's such a hard working girl, like so hard on herself. You know, I do sometimes step out. I still do that because I still feel like maybe I give myself some therapy and I go heal that, younger self. As an immigrant child, you have this need to, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be better. I'm going to, make money, and I'm going to, your parents instill that in you,
Right.
like you're going to be better than us and you're going to do this and do that. And there's so much pressure to be that better, they came here, they sacrificed, my parents at least, sacrificed their whole life, their friendships, their family to be in a place where I could make more material wealth
Right.
than them. But I do feel, that with that came a sacrifice of a lot of family. So what I would tell my older self is, even though you did have that, that pressure to build that material wealth, I would say to, step back from that a little bit and, as a mom now, to appreciate my children, to appreciate
Right.
my husband, to, he's really, also sacrificing with me to be in this position. So as a teacher, it was easy. You get this steady paycheck. It's expected on, every other week. And it's just average, and you can just get by. But my internal self wasn't satisfied with that. So my family had to, give up their normal, their homeostasis from, to be able to satisfy my dream, to say, we can do better, we can do more material, we can do goals, we can do, these things. So for me, those are my life goals, to help people to change, to be challenged. So they are different for my family.
Yeah, to be challenged, to obviously always work hard, but also keep in mind to live a little bit in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Spend time with family
Yeah.
and loved ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not, I'm no longer, confined in between four walls and say, you have to be here every day at 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. Like you have to be here every day. I have to ask. That's not the case. I am maybe more 24/7, but I have a little bit more flexibility to say, let's go hiking,
Right.
let's go take a walk. Let's go, enjoy this moment. Let's go have this birthday dinner. Let's go have this birthday breakfast or whatever it is. There is more flexibility. It's different. I'm not saying it's less or it's more. It's different. But at the same time, I enjoy it. I really do. I enjoy my agents. They're my friends. They're my family. So I really do enjoy them.
I love that. Absolutely. And Alex, so you have so many options. You've been in the business for a long time. You have so much, so much to give. Why REMAX Loyalty?
I got a random call one day. Hey, would you like to call, to come to REMAX and check it out? Where I was didn't feel, I didn't feel anything for it. I was teaching and I was doing real estate, but it was just me all by myself. There was no support. There was no friend. It was just my license was hung somewhere. And when an old client would call, I'd service them.
All right.
When REMAX called, I was like, oh, okay. I went and interviewed with you, Mark, right?
I remember.
And they were just so welcoming. It was so nice. It was very family, like it felt like a familial place.
Right.
So I came to REMAX, and there has never been a time where I've had a question, where I've had any doubt, where I haven't said, not just Mark, who was, the owner, but anybody else in the office, any other friend, any other agent, where I've been able to call and say, I have a question. What do you think about this? Where we've said, we have regular fun outings. We're doing a run.
Yes, I'm excited about that.
It's my first run ever, and it's motivating me to be healthier, to be a better me, right? So I haven't been able to get up early and run and jog and do these things, and I'm doing that. My dog,
That is so awesome.
my poor little chubby dog, she's getting in shape with me.
All right.
So there's just a spark about REMAX loyalty, where you just kind of go, hey, like, I have friends here, I have family, we're doing things together. It may be a lot of drinking together, but it's also a lot of other things.
A little bit of that.
It's also a lot of other fun things where, we get together and we really do fun things.
And what's the name of this walk run that REMAX loyalty?
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. Oh, that is so awesome.
May 3rd, 8:30. We're going to be there. I'm going to be hopefully a little bit of jogging, but
all right.
I'll try. I'm working up to it. I haven't done too much working out, and this has been something that my REMAX loyalty family is inspiring me to do. So
we're gonna do it together, because I'm gonna be there. Are you gonna be there?
I'm gonna be there at the finish line waiting for some.
All right. He's gonna keep that beer cold for us at the finish line. All right.
Just from far away, just wave the beer and just say, "Run faster."
Yeah, there you go. Hurry up! I'm finishing the beer.
I'm gonna drink your beer.
Yeah, I know. Fernando requested if I could run with him on my back. I thought that was going to be a little bit weird, so I said no. I'm sorry. So you can wait at the finish line. It's totally fine. So that's supposed to be a lot of fun, right? A lot of the agents at the office are going to be participating. Yeah. They're all stoked about it. They're like, yes, let's go rock and roll. We're going to have our own shirts out there that say REMAX loyalty. So that's, I love that culture at the office for sure. We're like a big family, and it's always very enjoyable, whatever events we have and all that good stuff. So that's something that attracted you to REMAX loyalty as well, is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, you're building on that. You're building on that foundation. You're continuing the dream. You're continuing to build that culture, and I appreciate that, and we thank you very much for that, right, Fernando?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so Alex, continue doing a phenomenal job. Sorry, Fernando, I know I was asking and talking a whole bunch. Did you have any other questions for Alex?
No, Alex, whatever you want to plug, say it out to the camera, feel free.
What's your message? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. If I have a message, the first thing that comes to mind is just my family, because in the past few months, it has been such a change for them. Transitioning from me just being very rigid, right? I had a schedule, and if a client came, great. But now I have, 50 agents that that I'm there for, and I'm close to. I feel close to all of them. So, letting me go for a little bit for that has been a huge sacrifice for my family. And I love them. I have, mom guilt and wife guilt for that. But at the same time, I'm reassured by them that they see a happier Alex, and that they see a happier, Alejandra or Alex, whoever who's ever present that day. They do see someone who feels like, there's goals and there's dreams and that they're happening. And, receiving a message of gratitude from my husband for working, so hard, and for seeing dreams for our family has been really...
it's awesome that
really
he's
awesome.
very supportive. You need that supportive spouse when you're in real estate in general, and especially in such an important role as managing broker at the office. So Yes. Thank you to Alex, because your husband's
My
name is
ha-
Alex.
Alex and Alex.
Yeah,
We're Alex and Alex.
Alex and Alex. You
Yes.
totally planned out a whole law firm on this, right? Alex and Alex. Call Alex and Alex.
Yeah.
But so I love it. He's very supportive, and you
Yeah.
need that support. So, and
Yeah.
your kids are so supportive. Although
Yeah.
they go into the office sometimes they
They
look at me a
do.
little weird, like, yeah, you're responsible for this.
It's all your fault.
They
Mommy's
wave their
not
fist
making
at me, and I'm like, a little uncomfortable. But they're beautiful
Yes,
kids.
they
Great kids.
they miss their mom bread
Yeah.
and mom banana. You know, like they miss mom cooking. but-
Yeah, right. And Mom's
Yeah.
garden is overgrowing with all kinds of stuff. So I appreciate that. Well, Alex, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun learning more about you. I know that our agents are totally blessed to have you.
Aw.
I can see why they always have a big smile on their face and stuff when they're at the office. So thank you so much for being a guest on What's Poppin' Friday. Anything else to add, guys?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex.
Gratitude for you
and
too.
stay tuned for the next What's Poppin' Friday, when we're going to have another awesome guest. Thank you to our sponsors, Homework with an E at the end, homework.com. Visit them. And also, what other sponsors do we have? The DB Group with Cross Country Mortgage. Thank you to you guys. Wendy with Loan Depot. Thank you so much as well. And George Garcia with DMI Financial.
And
Thank you
Neighborhood
guys.
Loans, too.
And Neighborhood Loans as well. Thank you, Neighborhood Loans, for your sponsorship. And also thank you for your support, everyone. So thank you very much. We'll see you at the next What's Poppin' Friday.